Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Tarot Juice. It's been a while, but we're back. And this episode, while I am using tarot cards, I'm not really gonna be, I guess we're always divining, because we're always talking about how we can create the best future, but there's no predictions that are gonna be happening here more than just spiritual advice or wisdom that you can take for the next year to come. So the Spring Equinox just happened. That's when, I think it was on Sunday, that's when technically spring begins. And the sun moves into Aries, which is the first sign in the zodiac wheel. It's Aries, it's the fire sign. And it energizes, it cleanses, and it generates ideas for new life to begin. So while we do follow the new year being January 1st, which is, the typical calendar that, we all follow in society, unfortunately, that's not a great way to celebrate the new year because energy is pretty dormant then. We are supposed to be in deep contemplation then. That's that's just after the winter solstice. So we're supposed to be inside of ourselves, introspective, thinking about what we want to do come the spring, which in a lot of cultures, including my culture, which is the Iranian culture, we consider it the new year. And it is the new year. It is fertile with energy, fertile with life. I'm sure you've already seen many opportunities come your way. Things are in alignment right now. You're ready to be seen. You're ready to show yourself, which is a complete contrast, I think, to what we were feeling about 3 weeks to a month ago, which is very within ourselves. And because that we were in the final moments of assimilating our new self for the new year, right? So we were shedding our skin. That takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of self-work and self-observing. But now we're beyond that, and we're ready to plant new seeds for the future. So that's what really we got to focus on right now with our energy, with the spring. Align yourself with the energy that's so rich in the air and create things. Begin opportunities, seed new ideas in people's minds. Go create, go see the world as your garden and decide what you want to grow and what you want to keep away. And it's really up to you. And the main thing that you're going to want to focus on right here, so the Queen of Swords showed up. And for me, that energy, we're talking about a feminine air energy, right? She subdues the negativity in your mind. So, how can we learn from this queen and be our own masters of our mind, right? How can we subdue our own thoughts? Because when the negativity comes up, and what I mean by negativity is destructive behavior that sends us more on a path of destruction and self-hate rather than construction and self-love. That's negative thought. Anything that's low frequency. So how can we tame all of that negative frequency that we know can come through us? How can we transmute it? How can we show it love, but also show it command? Like, I know you're here, I recognize you, but you are no longer a part of what I do. Thank you for being there, but no more. That's sort of the Queen of Air energy. So how can we access our own inner conversation and always keep the goal oriented at that? That's going to be the main goal for this year. And that's going to really what's going to help you assimilate a lot of your goals and a lot of your plans. They can only succeed if you yourself decide to keep yourself accountable from staying away from negative thought and negative rabbit holes, because we all know we can get down there. We can create all these artificial realities in our brain based on assumptions and opinions and feelings rather than fact. And the Queen of Swords comes with her sharpness and cuts through all of that and clears our vision. So she blesses the year in general, and that's the main advice from her is make sure that you tame your subconscious and that you always keep your thoughts on a positive train. The Green Woman shows up. This is Mother Earth. We're all going to be very attuned with the planet, and mind you, we're always very attuned with the planet. It's not something we can control, it's something that we are a part of. What we need to develop is our relationship with her and the relationship with the planet itself, because the planet is a breathing organism and you emerge from this breathing organism, and therefore you breathe with it. So it's time to breathe with it on a conscious level. So the green woman shows up because she's urging all of us, and she's urging you to develop a deeper connection with her. Develop a deeper connection with everything that provides for you. Have gratitude for your actual mothers, for your female guardians that are in your life, that have mentored you, that have pushed you forward, moved you through. It's important to give back a little bit of your love and appreciation, but especially to the Great Mother, which is the planet. If you can really get yourself to start listening to her frequencies, listen to bird song. Just go outside in your garden or go outside to a park and listen to the birds. That's one way to attune to it. Another way to attune to earth energy is gardening. That's a big thing. Or listening to the wind. Anything that is, watching bees or butterflies do their thing, just being an observer of earth, you become a magnet, and you start to take in earth energy and earth frequency, and you start to feel really light, and you start to feel really active. And that's what we want. Active, constructive ways of thinking and creating. And it's abundant energy. I think we just, we tend to deplete ourselves of energy sometimes, and we don't know how to bring it back up. Those are really simple ways to bring it back up, but especially to attune with your planet. And there's going to be a lot of triggering moments, right? Remember, we do have a lot of fire inside of us. We're very passionate about our own journeys. Unfortunately, sometimes we're too passionate about the journey that we can burn some people on the way, because we're just feeling very prideful, or feeling very arrogant, or feeling very maybe protective even of what we have, that we push certain people away, and sometimes that happens. But notice that moment, that anger that you feel, it's very powerful. And if you will, transmute that anger into something that's constructive. There's a lot of wisdom there that's for you. So I'm going to repeat that. In moments when we get angry, instead of projecting it on anybody or anything, finding a channel to transmute that energy into a higher level of understanding. So whether that's journaling about it so that you can see a different perspective, whether that's talking to someone you trust to help guide you through it without making it about them or without making it about something that it's not. Just straight to the point, someone you trust, a mentor, someone that you usually can trust to keep you on the right path. If you don't have that, there are therapists available, healers available all around. That's an avenue that you can take if you need someone to really listen and assimilate some things for you. Just be trusting of who you choose. But other ways of transmuting these angering moments is creativity. Just get creative. Dance, sing, paint, draw, anything that's anything that comes out of you that wants to be expressed. Again, writing is also a really good form. Just do that. You're gonna have a lot of epiphanies when you do that, and it's in those epiphanies that you can get that fire starting to burn again in the frequency that we want it to, which is a warm, creative fire rather than a burning fire. There's a little bit of a difference, and I think you can understand that from a physical level. So we're talking epiphanies that come from when we transmute anger. And that's going to really help heal you. And the more you heal your emotions, the more you become available to heal other people's emotions, just passively, just existing. And you guys have to really understand this is true spirituality. It happens all the time. You can't stop it. You can't stop your own frequency, but your frequency either creates or destroys based on whatever you're attuned to. And it usually fluctuates because most of us are inconsistent. But now we're trying to get to a level of consistency and mastery so that we can create and create sustainably. So really think about bringing it back to the spring, really think about what seeds you're focusing on this year. When we say we pay attention, it's because we're literally paying with our attention, right? So it's a currency. Your attention is currency. If you knew that, how would you use it so that you can benefit the most? That's really what we want to do here, is conscious use of our attention and our efforts. And seek healing. I am a I'm a healer myself, but I don't push my services. I always try to encourage people to find the healer in themselves, because we are all healers here. Whether, our avenue of healing is different from person to person, but we all have the ability to make ourselves feel lighter and find the wisdom in pain, and then to help others do that too. If only we stop and be patient and observe what's happening, rather than trying to quickly find a fix. Quickly finding a fix will solve it in the short term. You want to find a long-term solution, and that takes time and patience. Let your garden grow and be patient with it. Remember, you have a whole year now, from now until the next spring equinox, from now until the next March 21st. Think about your goals in that year span, rather than being like, oh, I want it tomorrow. Relax, calm down. You're not going to get it tomorrow. That's not how the physical realm works. Nothing happens instantly, but energy is instant. And that's what we're talking about here with this 7 of Stones. What do you want? What seeds do you want to plant for the next year to come? And how can you access that inner creative in you and sustain that energy? Because energy is instant, and once you get that inspirational moment, you use it. You use that epiphany moment, and you go for what you want. You don't wait for that energy to dissipate. Don't talk about it frivolously. What I mean is, don't talk about it just randomly and scattered and tell everyone about it, because then you thin out that energy and suddenly it's gone. It's satisfied somewhere in your brain, but there's nothing to show of it. Be consistent with your energy. Don't burn it out. And speak to people who will help you see this project through, rather than anybody that you just want appeasement or affirmation from. Make that distinction. But this year there will be a lot of fulfillment. And how do we feel fulfilled? When we keep our inner fire stoked. When we are our own accountability partners. So, if you have accountability partners in your life already, that's awesome. But I'm going to take it a step further and say, how can you be your own accountability partner? So that if that person, for whatever reason, is not present, and that happens, they have their own lives too. If they're not around, how can you keep yourself accountable? Because at the end of the day, you're doing these things for you. But can you work for you now without shortcutting yourself? Give yourself all the attention and the effort you deserve. Be very concrete and conscious about what you're doing, and you will receive fulfillment, because you'll be doing the right things, because you know what you're interested in, you know what you're curious about, so you know what you have to do. But you psych yourself out because you keep thinking, what if this, what if that? But when you wake up in the morning, you know what excites you, you know what scares you, you know what repels you, you know these things. You just have to start trusting yourself. But there's going to be a lot of creativity this year, because you finally believe in your own inner creator. That's very important. And all of this is going to bring everything full circle. You're going to have a lot of realizations. Things are going to flip around. And why? Because you're no longer agreeing to things that you used to agree to settle, to compromise. It's going to all turn around now. But all of that only happens if you take responsibility for yourself, for all of your actions, for all of your decisions up to now, forgiving anything that you did when you didn't know any better, and making a vow to not repeat those mistakes, because you don't want to repeat your karmic cycles. You want to break them and be free. And that's what you're here to do, is break them and be free. And then you can create anything almost instantly. So take responsibility. The bad things that happen to you, if you victimize yourself in those narratives, we all do that, get out of the victimization. Become the hero again. Because it's your story, and you deserve to be the hero. And you deserve to have the support coming from you, supporting yourself. So this is what I have for the new year. Take it with you. Be excited. There's a lot of energy in the air. You can feel it. You can feel it everywhere. But be aware that in Aries season, bringing it back to the spring, the sun goes into Aries, right? We talked about it from an astrological point of view. And Aries is the first zodiac sign in the wheel. It's a fire sign. It's very impulsive, which is why the Knight of Bows came out. The Knight of Fire can be very impulsive, but very passionate. So we want to take the passion from whatever we're feeling, but we want to be consistent with how we use our energy rather than scatter it too much and deplete it and exhaust it. So build a stable foundation for yourself. Know what tools work for you. Know that those things are just tools and that it's up to you to create something that you believe in, that you see. That's Aries. They can take those seeds and they can scatter them around, those ideas, those dreams, those goals, and they can set up a good energetic foundation for it to grow in Taurus season, which is the next season, for those seeds to take deep root and to start nurturing itself with the energy of Earth so that it may grow and grow and grow in the next year to come. So take that as you will. I'm gonna meditate for just a few minutes right now. We're done with the sort of lecture information portion of this video. Feel free to tune in with me and meditate with me for the next few minutes. I'm not really sure how long it's gonna be. It's just gonna be intuitive. If you want to meditate with me, awesome. What I'm just going to be doing is sitting in lotus position. You can sit cross-legged and just close your eyes and just be in the moment. Tune into your breath. I'm not really going to guide it. I'm just going to be here as a presence. If you just want to keep me on in the background too, you don't really have to be engaged with me on a conscious level, but I will still be around, and the meditation might help clear some energy for you. Feel free to do whatever you're called to do. But ultimately, the goal is to just sit in silence and meditate with me for a few moments. See what comes up, see how you feel. I'm gonna get into it now. And we seal the session with one final breath. thank you so much for tuning in, for taking in whatever you wanted to take in. If you're not going to take in anything, that's all cool too. You know, it all depends on what you want to do. It's your life at the end of the day. You choose to create based on what you agree upon. So choose wisely, and stay in touch, and we'll be releasing more videos soon, surely. And yeah, go out and create and believe in your inner creator, and remember, subdue those negative energies, subdue those negative thoughts, find the positive in the negative, and take responsibility for everything. Thank you.